Alright, it is Saturday, September 15, 2018 at 1:53 p.m. Alright, glad to be back. After the hurricane came through North Carolina, we lost power for about 3 hours, and then the power came back, and we were so grateful. We were like, yay, we don't have to charge our phones in the car anymore. So, we're back to normal and ready to report on some news. Alright, let's go to New Mexico Observatory. Sudden closure sparks wild speculation. Alright, so the temporary closure of a New Mexico observatory last week sparked wide ranging theories, especially after reports that federal authorities were involved. The Sunspot Solar Observatory, located near the Sacramento Mountains, closed over an unspecified security issue, the facility said in a statement posted on Facebook on Sunday. Sunspot apologizes for the continued closures of the facilities. The statement said the Association of Universities for Research in Astronomy, AURA, is addressing a security issue at the National Solar Observatory facility at Sacramento Peak, New Mexico, and has decided to temporarily vacate the facility as a precautionary measure. AURA, which manages Sacramento Peak and funding from NSF, National Science Foundation, is working with the proper authorities on the issue. We have no further comment at this time. Otero County Sheriff Benty House told the Alamogordo Daily News last week that the sheriff's office was asked to stand by and mentioned that the FBI was involved. The FBI is refusing to tell us what is going on. House told the newspaper. We've got people up there at Sunspot that requested us to stand by while they evacuated. Nobody would really elaborate on any of the circumstances as to why. The FBI were up there. What their purpose was, nobody will say. House said that there was a lot of unanswered questions over Sunspot's closure, but to the FBI getting involved that quick and to be secretive about it, there was a lot of stuff going on up there, House told the newspaper. There was a Black Hawk helicopter, a bunch of people around antennas, and work crews on towers, but nobody would tell us anything. It was unclear whether the observatory was going to reopen, and workers decided to evacuate the facility as a precautionary measure. Aura spokeswoman Shari Lifson told the Alamogordo Daily News. Lifson couldn't comment as to whether the FBI was involved. Frank Fisher, an FBI spokesman, couldn't confirm or deny the agency's involvement, according to the Albuquerque Journal. The mysterious nature of the closure sparked all kinds of speculation on the internet. When the aliens invade, we have nowhere to evacuate to anyway. The truth will be our destiny, Gene Alexander wrote on the observatory's Facebook page, according to the Kansas City Star. So, maybe a celestial body that we have not encountered in a long while for thousands of years is finally making its way back into our solar system. John Plight Sandoval hypothesized. Whatever is happening at the observatory, an employee told Albuquerque Journal that we weren't too concerned just yet because they didn't have enough information. That's what happens when you do something and don't tell anybody why, the employee said. So apparently there is a weird closure at the Sunspot Solar Observatory. The FBI was there, nobody knows why, and nobody knows what they were doing up there. Interesting and mysterious. Very, very perfect for conspiracy theorists to just swoop in and start making wild guesses at what could actually be happening up there. Sounds like a black project, but who knows. Alright, next. Brexit could reignite conflict in Northern Ireland. The UK's departure from the EU could reignite conflict in Northern Ireland, according to new research. North-South relations, the peace process, border controls, racism, and socio-economic rights will be negatively impacted by Brexit, says legal experts. The claim comes after former Minister David Trimble said there was no serious threat to post-Brexit violence in Northern Ireland. He said that the issue has been sorted out by Belfast Agreement. Manna from Heaven? The research was compiled by a partnership from Queen's University Belfast, university and human rights experts from the Committee of Administration of Justice, which has released 6 documents exploring the impact of Brexit on Northern Ireland. Director of CAG Brian Gormley says of the findings, there is a real danger Brexit could reignite conflict here. As the leaving process lurches ever nearer to a hard or no-deal Brexit, there is a risk of nationalists becoming more and more disillusioned at the disagreeing of the will of the majority here, while unionists coalesce in the defense of Brexit and the border, he added. The last thing we need is a new bone of contention between our people. The data was compiled over the course of 18 months through a series of interviews, consultations, and town hall style events. Some of the interviews were held with dissident Republicans, members of the paramilitary group who remained armed, active, and dangerous in society, with the aim of reunifying Ireland. So, Brexit was manna from heaven from our perspective, one leader of dissident political group told researchers. When questioned about the future of the Irish border, he said, the harder the better. The Irish border runs 310 miles between Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland, and about 35,000 people cross it every day. So, the problems in Northern Ireland could reignite because of this Brexit deal. Alright, hopefully that doesn't happen and peace stays in the Northern Ireland area, but that's pretty sad to see. Alright, next. Fema to test presidential alert system next week. Expert expressed little concern that the wireless emergency alerts could be used for political purposes. So, President Donald Trump may soon be communicating with you direct on your phone, even if you don't follow him on Twitter. Next Thursday, the Federal Emergency Management Agency will do its first test of a system that allows the president to send a message to most U.S. cell phones. More than 100 mobile carriers, including all the major wireless firms, are participating in a rollout, FEMA stated in a message on its website posted Thursday. The emergency alert system is a national public warning system that provides the president with a communications capability to address the nation during a national emergency. FEMA said the test message will have a header that reads Presidential Alert, according to the agency. Users whose phones are on will twice hear a tone and vibration, and then see an English-only for now message. This is a test of the National Wireless Emergency Alert System. No action is needed. The Wireless Emergency Alert System was authorized by Congress in 2015 under a law that states that the system shall not be used to transmit a message that does not relate to a natural disaster, act of terrorism, or other man-made disaster or threat to public safety. Experts didn't appear to be too concerned that Trump, known to use his smartphone to blast opponents, berate subordinates, and take shots at the news media on Twitter, could abuse WEA. Alright, so next week we'll be getting a possible text or message from the president. Alright, that's quite interesting. Alright, next, Tropical Storm Florence still poses catastrophic flood threat with multiple deaths. The National Weather Service said Florence was slowly weakening, though it still threatened catastrophic flooding over the Carolinas. Multiple people were killed after Hurricane Florence crashed ashore on North Carolina's coast Friday morning, ripping apart roofs with extreme wind, threatening massive storm surges, and requiring dozens of water rescues. Initially, authorities reported 7 deaths attributed to the storm, but later revised the number after 2 deaths appeared to be associated with a murder-suicide. North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper said on Saturday morning that 5 deaths were storm-related, but several others were being investigated. The storm wobbled along the coast with a slow grind after Florence's eye made landfall near Wrightsville Beach, northeast of Wilmington, on Friday. Its lumbering pace propelled fears that flooding would worsen during high tide and force rivers to crest at record levels. The hurricane was downgraded to a tropical storm on Friday evening, and the National Weather Service said early Saturday that it was slowly weakening. Its sustained winds had weakened to 50 miles per hour and were expected to decrease further. Alright, so the storm is weakening, but there are deaths reported with the storm. So you see here, Florence is right now the eye of it is over South Carolina, and the rest of the storm is over North Carolina, just going in circulation there. There's also rain happening in Texas and the Gulf of Mexico, and then the two storms, Joyce and Helene, are actually just going towards northeast out into the Atlantic. Isaac seems to be just bits of precipitation right now, very weak system underneath Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, and doesn't seem to be doing anything. Just looks like regular rain. Alright, and there don't seem to be any storms coming off the coast of Africa right now. It just seems to be small rain clouds, and does not seem to be building anything there. Alright, so Florence is a tropical storm with 45-mile-an-hour sustained winds, minimum central pressure of 995 millibars, located 33.6 north, 79.6 west, and moving west at 2 miles an hour. So I'm so thankful that I got to go through the storm and everything came out alright. Our property wasn't damaged. You know, we just had power out for 3 hours and then it came back. And I'm very thankful that we're alright. Alright, so just Helene and Joyce going off into the Atlantic. Let's look at the Pacific. What we just have disturbance 1 with 30% chance of cyclone formation in 48 hours. And we don't see any other storms there. Alright. Thank God that everything came out alright and we're okay. And I'm still praying for the people of North Carolina and South Carolina that are still dealing with this storm. Alright guys, thank you for coming by and watching my video. Hit a like, subscribe, and see you guys next time.